Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome along to this live webinar with Property Tribes and LendLord. And this is the finale of our Power Up Your Portfolio Week with LendLord, which has been running on Property Tribes all this week. And we have been celebrating new features of LendLord, but also showcasing the upgrades and how you can get a 40% discount. Well, tonight, just for this webinar, for the next 40 minutes, we're increasing that discount to 50% for your discount for off your premium upgrade features. So if you were just kind of sitting on the fence there thinking, well, yeah, I'm not sure. Well, now you've got 40 minutes to actually take some really positive action, upgrade to premium features and get a 50% discount. So I'm joined, of course, by LendLord CEO and co-founder Aviram Shaha. And Aviram, we've really enjoyed this really important week on Property Tribes on YouTube and on the actual Property Tribes forum, because we wanted to update everybody about what's happening on the LendLord platform. And we're delighted to have so many people on the webinar tonight.
Yes, absolutely. It's great to see so many people attending tonight. And thanks, Vanessa, for this week. Very important week for us to showcase the LendLord platform and how landlords basically can basically utilize technology and digital tools to do better. And in this webinar, basically, the goal is to summarize this week, to do another overview of the platform, but mainly to take some questions from you guys. So feel free to write questions on the chat. And Vanessa, perhaps we can do like some kind of questions and answers session with people. You can raise your hand and then we will let you ask. You can ask Vanessa anything as well. Vanessa, she's a very experienced landlord in the details of what's going on in the property market and in the landlord's ecosystem. So feel free to ask questions in this area to Vanessa and questions about the LendLord platform as well. And the nice thing that you will see that everything basically combines at some point.
Indeed. Well, I have to say, Avram, I can see from the chat that we have got new landlords joining. And I have to say that when I started my landlord career back in 2004, when I started building my portfolio, the kind of tools like LendLord just didn't exist. And I do think that landlords today who have access to these tools really have an advantage on the old days of analog landlording, because essentially what LendLord does is it helps you to digitize large swathes of the landlord life cycle and all the functions that are involved along the way, because being a landlord is generally a long-term investment, and you'll go through different phases where you're growing your portfolio and managing your properties. And these smart tools like LendLord, they give you such an edge and they help you mitigate risk as well. And, you know, with the Renters' Rights Bill coming into effect next year, we don't know exactly when, but the government has actually issued another guidance information this evening. So breaking news, it's on Property Tribes, and they've given a lot more detail of the bill, and it is concerning a lot of landlords. So I think the educated and informed landlord is the landlord that's going to survive and thrive going forward. And when you formed LendLord, Avram, that was your main goal, wasn't it? To help reduce landlord pain and mitigate risk.
Yes, absolutely. And when we started LendLord almost 5 years ago, as you mentioned, I think there were very few digital tools that help landlords. When I say landlords, basically targeted the end consumer, the landlords that manage. It's not necessarily manage the properties by themselves, but manage their portfolio by themselves. And you would see products for property managers, letting agents, estate agents, for the large companies. And our goal by creating LendLord is to support the the average landlord, let's say, like the landlord that manage between 1 to 5 to 10 properties. And basically this was the goal. And I think now we have a platform that supports the landlord throughout the life cycle of the property, starting the acquisition phase, then after that, the post-acquisition, the management of the portfolio, and also provides the ability to grow the portfolio and basically continue to optimize your return. So yeah, this was the goal, and I'm happy to that basically we see it now succeeding, and we help landlords to do better, so which is great.
Indeed. Well, we're going to give you a quick demo of some of the key features of the LendLord software. So, Avram, over to you, and feel free to ask any questions that you have. They can be about specifically LendLord, or if we're looking at the deal analyzer, you might have a few questions about how to source deals. Those are the kind of things that we are looking to help you with on this call.
Yes, so before I start, just to mention again the benefit for this webinar time only, you can get 50% off buy. So if you go to your settings page, or you can click on the /premium link that I put on the chat, then you can see the plan details, click upgrade. The basic plan is very enhanced, but with the premium plan, you can do much more. In general, it's 99 pounds per year, 12 pounds per month, but you can use this coupon. So on this pop-up, click add coupon, then enter PT webinar and click apply. Then you will get it with 50% off for the first year. So it's 49.5 pounds for the first year, and then it will be 99 pounds on the second year. And there are great features. I will show them now when I provide you with a high-level overview about LendLord, so you can use it in a much better way, use the platform with the premium plan.
Yeah, and let's be clear here. That is the cost of 10 cups of coffee to upgrade to this premium features version of LendLord. So, well, why wouldn't you do that? It's a fantastic offer, and it's just lasting for the duration of this webinar. So take advantage of it.
Yes, absolutely. So Vanessa, I think we can start with the three sections of LendLord. So we have the invest part of the platform. This section helps existing landlords to grow their portfolio. So we provide tools to source properties, to get alerts when you source properties, to analyze deals and get information about the property and about the area. The manage section is the section for existing landlords. So you can manage your portfolio, your documents, tenants and tenancies, your cash flow, and the performance of the properties. And the finance section, this is the place to understand your finance options, either if it's a buy-to-let mortgage or remortgage or bridging finance. So you have everything in one place. We have many features, but of course you can use the features that more relevant to you. Vanessa, perhaps I will ask you you spoke about the days that you started as a landlord. What was your best way to source properties? And if you look, because, if you want to start your journey, you need to find the right properties to buy at the right time, at the right price, at the right location. So
as I said, I started in 2004, and I was living in London, and I was living in Finsbury Park, which is in North London, and I just saw a lot of opportunity there because of the transport links, the infrastructure going in, and a great place to look for property deals is to look for three things: ICI, infrastructure, communication, and investment. If you see those three things happening in an area, it's a very strong indicator. And I really just use local estate agents, and also I bought a lot of new build stock at discounts, and I just went direct to developer. But it's a lot more sophisticated now, and the LendLord Deal Analyzer is just the most incredible tool. I can't tell you how brilliant it is, and it far surpasses anything else out there on the market. And Nick and I worked with Abraham and the LendLord team and other specialists to develop this tool so that the Deal Analyzer gave you the best possible chance of understanding and stacking deals to make sure they work for you and what you're trying to do. So, it's an absolutely awesome tool just to have at your fingertips. And, if I had it back in 2004, I maybe could have done a lot better. So you must take advantage of these tools. They're all there for you.
Yeah, thanks, Vanessa. So just to highlight what you can see on the invest section of the platform. So on the sourcing tabs, you can find on-market properties. We get properties being uploaded to the system by estate agents on a daily basis. You can see some details about the property. On the premium plan, you can see the Google map. You can get a rental value estimation for this property, unlimited property value estimation, unlimited. You can see the full address. You can contact the agent. And you can also add properties to your watch list. So this is something that you can get on the premium plan. You can also get sourcing alerts. Sourcing alerts, it's good if you want to do two things. One, to get alerts on properties that you added to your watch list. So let's say I added those properties and I want to get notification if there was a price increase or price decrease to this property. So I can define it on the sourcing alerts. And I can also define a search criteria. So it will start with an address, then a radius from this address. And you can also add the price range and select the property types you're interested in. And then every time the platform will get a new property being uploaded to the platform that matches your search criteria, you will get a notification to your email, to your mobile, and also to the alert sidebar. So basically, you can just define your search criteria and get all the alerts to your email. We have also tabs for auctions. So here you can find property lots from online auction houses all around the UK. Yeah, I'm in the office and my connection is not so great. I will try it here. There is another option is the property lists. I will wait for the auctions for now. The property lists, you need to select a category. And there are various of categories, then select the address and a radius from this address. and here, basically, I think we cover many properties from Rightmove, Zoopla, and on the market. So you can see it's a bit limited data, but you can click on the go to property page and it will take you to the website that this property is listed. So here you can get more information about the property. Yeah, so this is basically on property sourcing. Deal Analyzer. So Vanessa mentioned the Deal Analyzer. So we support on the Deal Analyzer 3 main strategies: buy to let, flip, which is buy to sell, and BRR. BRR is the basically combination of flip and buy to let. So in BRR, you will purchase the property. You will do some refurbishment to improve the value of the property. And then you will get a tenant inside and remortgage at a higher value. So
yeah, because it's mainly it's a cash activity to start.
Yes, you can start with cash. You can also start with bridging on BRR. And you can see some options for bridging using the Deal Analyzer as well. So I will start with an address. Then I select the strategy. I put the purchase price and the expected monthly rent. I can get some indication about the prices in this area based on several parameters that I can change. Again, on the premium plan, you get unlimited property value estimations. On the basic plan, you have only 3.
And there, Avram, I was just going to jump in and say there's more and more lenders using these automated valuations now. And it's interesting, they're obviously becoming more and more accurate as the feeds are added to and the data's refined. So it's very much a trend in our sector to use automated valuations, but it can't be relied upon, and it's very sensible to do your own comparables.
Yes, and you can treat it as an indication to the prices and the rental income in this area. I will use different number just for this example. Then you just have to decide if you're going to use a buy-to-let mortgage or it's a cash purchase. Then you need to click proceed to buy-to-let. Then the platform will take its own defaults to calculate the metrics for the short term and for the long term. If you want to see the defaults, just click on the summary tab, and you will see that we took into account 3,000 stamp duty, 1,300 closing costs, no refurb cost in this case because it's a buy-to-let, and you can click on the edit icon if you want to change the numbers here. And you can also add a breakdown of the closing costs, for instance, to get more accurate analysis. And then you can see how it impacted the results. Okay. So you can see how much cash investments you need to invest, what will be the net annual cash flow, the monthly cash flow, the return on your the capital that you're going to deploy. And you can also define long-term metrics. So we have the default scenario, but you can also define the best case scenario and worst case scenario. And you can play with the numbers here. You have the occupancy rate, the annual property appreciation, rental appreciation, and inflation. And then you can see what will happen to this deal under different scenarios. You can also play with the period of the amount of years you are going to hold this property and basically do the analysis. On the premium plan, you can also generate a report and you can share it with others. It's a well-designed report that we actually now enhancing, so it will be even more enhanced. And you can also go to the postcode information page, and here you can get important stats about this postcode. And I think when Vanessa, perhaps I will ask you, when you look at a new purchase, would you look on the area? Will you drive to see the area, or you will basically do your research online?
Well, I think that's an interesting point, Abraham, because I think stacking your deals in the deal analyzer will actually work as a kind of filter. So you can filter out the deals that don't work for you. Because one thing that none of us have more of is time. And you don't want to, spend time viewing properties that don't actually stack up. So I would use the deal analyzer as a filter to find the properties that meet my criteria, give the best returns, and filter out the properties that aren't suitable. And that can save a huge amount of time and indeed money. Doing your due diligence ahead of times will save you, driving 200 miles to a property only to find that there's something, seriously wrong with the property or the area. So you don't want to have wasted journeys. So use the deal analyzer as a filter for potential deals is my advice. And obviously make sure that they stack up financially for you and what your personal goals and situation dictates.
Yeah, all right, absolutely. All right, so this was the deal analyzer, also the postcode information where you can get stats about the area. You can see the capital growth in the last 5 years, statistics about rental income, comparables, recent sales in this area based on property type. What are the average property asking prices right now? Statistics about crime, schools, commute method, age distribution, and more. So on the premium plan, you can get unlimited postcode information searches. So again, we encourage you to upgrade. You have until the webinar end to get the 50% off. If you go to the settings page, click add coupon, enter PT webinar, and click apply. All right, so this was the invest part of the platform. Now, after you acquire the property, you can manage the property on the manage section of the platform. And also, if you already own an existing portfolio, this is the place to manage your portfolio. So the first thing, Vanessa, I would say is the information. You have so much information that you need to hold. And we keep, by the way, more than 150 different data items on each property. But don't be scared. You can just start with very few details, and then you can add more as you go. You can also add all the due dates and get notifications before you need to renew your gas safety certificate, or you need to get a new mortgage product because there is an expiry date, or your fixed product, renew your insurance, EPC, and more. So as you can see, you have a place to add all of those details here. And then you have the My Documents. This is the place to manage documents. You can manage documents on a common level for each property and also for each owner. And you can also share documents package with others. So you can do a single property package or multi-property package. So let's say that you want to send several documents to I need to select, let's do a single property to a potential buyer. You just need to select the property. You can add some details about the ownership, about the purchase details, and select the documents you want to share, and the platform will create a package for you. And you can share this package.
Sorry, I was just going to say, Avram, this is very useful when you're, working in collaboration with other people, to be able to share these documents with them so easily.
Yes, like in a few clicks you can share, and like we'll create a link for you can decide the length of this link that will be available for. Then you can add more time if you want. So it's also in terms of security. All right, the mileage tracker is a new feature that we've added, so you can track business trips or trips that related to your property, and the platform will calculate how much you can claim. My tenants, this is the place I'm running. Can
I just jump back to the mileage tracker? Sorry, Avram. Graham has asked a question about it. With the mileage tracker, can you copy the outward journey and paste the return? So essentially swap addresses outbound to return.
So basically the way it works is that you need to add a trip, so you can select the owner, the date, then the platform will calculate the distance using the API of Google Maps, inside the vehicle, passengers, and the distance. So this, and so I'm not sure, like if what will again, if you can explain again the question, Vanessa?
Can you copy the outward journey and paste the return?
You can currently you can export it to PDF, but we are working on a new transactions page. So basically, you can create a transaction that you can send to your accountant, or you can, if you want to include it into your P&L report, this will be more streamlined in one of the new versions that we are going to release. But currently, you can just export a report of all the trips and send it over. Then we have the tenant section. Here you can manage your tenants and tenancies. You can invite your tenant to their own dashboard, your tenants to their own dashboard. Basically, this will allow you to share documents. Vanessa, perhaps you can speak about it because there are some documents that you have to share with your tenants, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, there are, in terms of setting up a compliant tenancy, there are several documents that you have to share. And this is going to become even more critical with the implementation of the Renters' Rights Bill. And this is something that all landlords need to get up to speed with. So, it's very important that the tenancy is set up correctly from day one. If it's not, it can come back and bite further down the line, as for instance, not protecting the deposit. If you don't do that within a certain prescribed information or time, then the tenant can actually, at the end of tenancy, find out that if you haven't protected it, they can claim up to 3 times the deposit. And with the Renters' Rights Bill, the well-known assured short-hold tenancy will be no more, and we will be moving to what are called periodic assured tenancies. So big changes coming. Great news is that LendLord will be updating all of their documents, including the new type of tenancy agreement, and they will be LendLord's going to be an awesome tool for transitioning from the regimes that we're used to now, that we've been working with for years and years and years, to the regime of what is dictated by the Renters' Rights Bill. So this is another reason to get on board with LendLord now, because the transition is going to have a little bit of time to happen. But when it does happen, it's going to be called commencement date of these new type of tenancies. On that date, all existing tenancies will convert to the new type of tenancy, and any new tenancies going forwards will have to be this new version of a tenancy. It has no fixed terms anymore. It's all periodic. Now, these are massive changes, and it's really important that you understand them. LendLord's going to be producing a lot of resources and features to help you make that transition. And indeed, on Property Tribes, we're also already in the process of educating our landlords. And Avram, it's quite shocking. It's believed that only 5% of the 2.7 estimated landlords in the UK have actually heard of the Renters' Rights Bill. That is about 135,000 landlords, bearing in mind that the NRLA has about 100,000 members. That's pretty scary. And the reason it's scary is because there are much more severe sanctions and fines for non-compliance. The average one is around £7,000, but it can go up to £40,000. And in some instances, it's deemed a criminal offence. So, you're going to have to raise your game, and we're all going to have to get up to speed with the Renters' Rights Bill over the next few months. It's likely to come in early spring, early summer next year, but don't sit around waiting. Start thinking and planning now, and LendLord's going to help you do that.
Yeah, we will definitely change the AST generator. So currently you can generate AST agreements with LendLord. So we'll adjust it to support the new agreement. And then the next feature will be also to send it to your tenant for an auto signature. So all of these will be supported on the LendLord platform. When you invite tenant to LendLord, you can also get maintenance reports. So just if you self-manage your properties, this is a great feature for you as well. And then the cash flow section, this is the place to manage your income and expenses from all of your properties and attribute the income and expenses to a specific property. On the premium plan, you can link your bank accounts to LendLord and automate the cash flow as well. You can generate reports. It could be a P&L report. We have a property breakdown report, so you can see the breakdown per property in terms of income and expenses. And you can see the expenses breakdown report, the income breakdown, and a tax report, which just indication about the tax on the P&L. So we are going to enhance this module as well to support other types of transactions. But again, as I mentioned, if you use the premium plan, you can link your bank account and start automate the transactions as well. And again, I will remind you that if you want to upgrade, go to your settings page. You have until the webinar end to upgrade, click add coupon, then enter PT webinar, click apply to get the discount.
Derek's asking if you have to register with the ICO, Information Commissioner's Office, as a user of LendLord. Well, you have to register with the ICO, being a landlord, if you're handling any sort of tenant data. And it's probably best practice just to register anyway. And when the Renters' Rights Bill comes in, there's going to be a new housing ombudsman that landlords will have to register with, and also a new property portal that landlords will have to register with. So there's all sorts of new things, new compliance coming in. And the bill is still going through Parliament. It's got some further readings in the House of Commons, and then it obviously goes into the House of Lords. But the general feeling is there aren't going to be, any drastic changes. It's pretty much set in stone. And I have to say, we have the most brilliant presentation by Solicitor David Smith on property tribes, where he has gone through the kind of key points of the new Renters' Rights Bill to flag up the changes and what landlords need to be aware of and to start planning for. So I do recommend that you watch that presentation if you can.
Yeah, and it's available on the Property Tribes website. You can see the posts there, and also on the Property Tribes YouTube channel, you can see the videos. Perhaps you can share the links, Vanessa, on the chat.
Yeah.
While I'm speaking about the last section of the platform, which is finance. So the finance tab is also embedded into the other tabs. So for instance, on the deal analyzer, you can click on the finance this deal tab to see what options you have in terms of mortgages, or if you want to use bridging finance to finance this deal. But if you want to do just a search, go to the finance section on the menu and click mortgage, remortgage. And here, we have a live feed of mortgage products. You can filter it by different parameters. You can also search for limited company products. You can search for 2 years fixed or 5-year fixed. And the nice thing is that this is connected to the data that you enter to LendLord. So the engines will analyze your portfolio, and based on the lender's criteria, will filter the results for you. So it's not just an aggregator that you can see mortgage product rates. It's actually stress test your portfolio and also stress test the property. So for instance, if the rental income is too low, it will eliminate the lenders that will not lend on this rental income if it's not covered the mortgage payments at the higher rate. And you can also start a process to get a mortgage illustration online using LendLord. And then you can also submit the application to the lender. So everything is digital, connected to your portfolio. Very streamlined process to understand your finance options, but also to get a mortgage or a remortgage. Bridging finance, if you buy a property in auction, or if you need to do some refurbishment to a property, or you want to implement the BRR strategy, you can use our bridging finance tool. You can generate terms within 3 minutes, and then decide if you want to proceed with the process. Bridging finance is a great tool, but it's you need to be very, I would say, planned. So like it's very important that the exit strategy is clear to you, and you know exactly how much you need to spend if you have some refurbishment to do. And usually bridging can be between 6 months to 12 months mainly. There are some products that will take you to 18 months, but it's better to take 12 months and plan at least 3 months if you need to remortgage and 6 months if you need to sell as the exit strategy. But if you know how to use it and you have the plan set up and you use the deal analyzer to assess the numbers, and also in the deal analyzer, you can, we recommend to take into account all the associated costs. So it's not just the stamp duty. You have, in the closing costs, if you have legal fees, inspection cost, agent fee, auction fee, just add all the costs to be conservative and on the safe side. If you have refurbishment, you can use our works plan generator to create schedule of works and see all the different items. So you need a clear plan if you want to use bridging. And if you have a clear plan, it's a great tool because it will help you leverage and take the property to a higher value, and then you can remortgage or sell. So you can also see options for bridging on the LendLord platform, and you can manage your application online as well. When you manage your finance applications on LendLord, you can see, for instance, on a mortgage, you can see your mortgage illustration. You can see all the steps with the lender and the status. You can get notifications when it's getting progressed, and you can also get your mortgage offer, etc. So
I
very
just wanted to highlight, Abiram, the live feed of all the different financial products out there, all the different mortgages, because we are actually in a rates war right this moment, and rates are coming down all the time. And even fairly minor decrease in the rate you have to pay for your finance can make quite a significant difference, not only to your net cash flow, but also the cost of your finance over the term of the mortgage. So it's really valuable to have this whole of market live feed of the products. And quite often when products come out, they might be limited edition. And once that tranche of money has gone, then they disappear. So, if you've got these smart tools at your fingertips, you can really, be right on point with getting the best possible finance for your deal. And I can't stress how valuable that it is to be able to do that. And these products are changing, rates are changing literally every day at the moment. It's likely that we'll get another interest rate or Bank of England rate decrease in November. So rates are likely to go down further. So happy days, because it makes it easier to stack your deals as well.
yes.
Gurdeep's asked about complex, larger lending portfolio landlord that has properties in his own name and limited company, as well as age in the 70s or 80s. Well, Gurdeep, when you put your property in, you choose whether it's in your sole trader name or a limited company name, and then that determines the products that you will be offered for that particular property. I wouldn't worry too much about your age. There are lenders that will lend up to 110 years old. But again, you've got to find the right product for you and your circumstances. And quite often on Property Tribes, we find that people have gone a long way down a road with a product that actually doesn't suit them and or their property. I think a good example of that is square footage. If you've got very small square footage, there's like a studio or one-bedroom flat, there are only a handful of lenders that will lend on that property. So there's no point in you having an application go through with evaluation and everything only for the surveyor to say, well, actually, it's only, X square feet. And then the lender says, well, it doesn't work for our product. So this is why it's so important to get all of the data about the property up front, because it also affects your mortgage product application as well.
Yes, absolutely. Now I think Vanessa, perhaps we can take some questions. So we can go over the chat if there are questions, and also you can raise your hand and ask your question. I see Emeka asked about the coupon, so I will answer. So Sorel, I don't know if you are here, you can perhaps put the links. I will put them anyway in a sec. But from your Landlord account, go to the right top menu and click Settings. Then you can see Plan Details. Click Upgrade. And then this pop-up, you're below the orange button, the link called Add Coupon. Click on it, then enter PT webinar, click Apply, and you can get the discount 50% off for the first year for the entire year. So yeah, you can use it until the webinar time, like until the end of the webinar. So let's see if we have some questions. Again, if you want to ask a question, you can raise your hand. Okay, so let's see what we have on the chat.
Well, somebody's asking if they give you the spreadsheet, can you upload it and set up the portfolio on LendLord?
It depends on the size, because if you have already maintain a spreadsheet, you can click add property and then upload a portfolio CSV. So there is some instructions that you need to save your Excel file as CSV. You can also download an example. And then when you upload the CSV, we'll ask you to match your fields to our fields. And then basically you can upload all your properties in a few clicks if you maintain a spreadsheet already. But if you have a large portfolio and you need help from our team, definitely just reach out to us. Anyway, you can always reach out to us using this chat box with bug reports, suggestions for new features, if you need help with anything. Also, we'll put the link to schedule demos with us or with our finance team if you need some advice. And yeah, let's see if we have any other.
I think when you're uploading your portfolio, just put the kind of headline information in first, then you'll start seeing all the metrics come to life. And that's very exciting when that happens, because it will tell you your loan to value across your entire portfolio, your net cash flow across your portfolio, your gross cash flow, metrics for each individual property. When you start seeing that coming to life, I think it encourages you to really dive in and use the software. It certainly did me when I put mine in many years ago now, 4 years ago. And obviously I've always updated as I go along. I've added, if I've had a rent increase, if I've changed to a new mortgage rate. So it gives you a very clear indication of your overall financial position. And I think that is just I don't know how anybody can exist in property without knowing that. It's just so, so important. And for instance, I've had a 5-year fixed rate come to an end, and my mortgage has gone from £640 a month onto the lender's SVR, and that's going to jump up to £1,200 a month, so nearly double. So my net cash flow is going to decrease very significantly just on one property. Now, obviously, you get 2 to 3 months warning from a lender, and indeed LendLord, when your fixed rate is coming to your end. But you need to act. You don't want to go on to a standard variable rate if you can possibly help it. So it's very, very important to understand, your overall financial position, how it's going to be impacted if you have, a void period, those kind of things, because then you can actually plan and make sure that you can cover yourself and that you can survive. We've got another question. Can you store gas safety certificates and your electrical safety certificates on each property? Yes, you can. So that's all there, all in my documents.
Yeah, go to my documents, and then for each property, you can see predefined documents that you can upload. When you click upload, it will open your file system. You can upload any document. So you can see here the gas safety certificate, the EPC, the ICR. If you want to add other information, and you can upload basically any file that you want. On the premium plan, you have unlimited documents. On the basic plan, you have only 5. So actually, you need to upgrade to premium if you want to use the My Documents. And on the My Portfolio page, you can manage dates. So just hover over the property or click Edit, go to the gas safety certificate section, and here you can add the gas safety certificate renewal date. And a tip for due dates. For My Portfolio, you can click on the due date setup. And then you can see for each property, it will give you all the due dates that are empty. So you can easily add dates for each key event. So yeah, so basically it's a wizard to add all of the due dates. When you add a due date, you will get a notification before the due date to take action. And we also have the tasks module, which will be also available on the dashboard. So the task will arrange all the things that you need to do. So you don't need to worry. You just need to put all the dates, and you can also create your own tasks. And this, also put the due dates, etc. So you can be on top of everything. On the tasks module, you can also see it on a calendar view. So you can also manage your day-to-day property tasks on Landlord, and it's connected to your properties. So any due date that you will put on the property, you will also get a task.
Nav is asking, is there a telephone service to support the mortgage finding tool?
Yes, absolutely. So first, you have the link tree. I will put it on the chat. Sorry, if you are here, you can put it again. And you can call this number. We'll see it on the bridging finance. This is our basically phone number. So you will have a switch. So basically you decide with which team you want to speak with, and you can get support on the platform, but also on the bridging side, on the mortgage side. So yeah, you can call this number.
Now, Avaram, you very kindly said that I could highlight my expert advice service.
Yes.
I am on the LendLord platform. I think Avram's going to bring it up under the experts section, and you can book a call with me. I like to say I'm a signpost. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'm a very good person to bounce ideas off, help you find a way forwards. And it's quite amazing the number of calls I've had where somebody's told me some seemingly horrendous problem that
Oh,
they
now I see,
really,
Vanessa, now I see why I didn't get calls in the last month.
oh dear, I'm not there.
You have a bug.
But
Oh,
anyway, you can find me via Property Tribes anyway. But
fix it.
I've had many people call me with problems that they really struggle to solve, and I've just gone, well, hang on a minute, what about this? And they've gone, oh. So yeah, I'm a good person to help guide you on your property journey if you feel that you need a bit of personalized private advice. So I'm sure Avaram will fix it so that you can
Yeah,
get in touch with
we
me.
will, and highly recommended. We got so many great advices from you, Vanessa, about features, suggestion directions, and if you want to hear also all the trends on like what's going on in the property market, Property Tribes, this is the place, and also Vanessa. So here you
Well,
can.
Avram, I genuinely believe that the transition that our sector is going through at the moment, which is the biggest change in over 30 years, I genuinely believe that both Landlord and Property Tribes are going to play such an important role in educating landlords and helping them manage the transition. And with Property Tribes and Landlord on your side, I think that you are going to be way ahead of the curve of the other 95% landlords that haven't yet heard of the Renters' Rights Bill or indeed understood the impact that it's going to have on a landlord business. So just by being on this call, I want to salute you all because it shows that you're committed to learning and indeed personal growth, which is all so important when being in business, because we are in business, we're in a property business. You are in the minority, and because you're committed to your education and learning and growing, I have every confidence that you're going to be able to survive and indeed thrive. So, keep on with Landlord, keep on with Property Tribes, keep learning and keep growing, and you're going to be absolutely fine. And Avram, despite the changes, I still have 100% belief in property. It's a long-term investment. We're in a very high demand, low supply situation, and will continue to be for many years. I've just relet a 1-bed flat in Highbury and Islington, and I had, I think, 57 inquiries by lunchtime, 22 viewings after the tenants had been filtered, and I had 8 offers, all of which were over the asking rent. And that is the environment that we are in. But the Renters' Rights Bill has very strict terms that rents cannot be bid up, that tenants cannot be in bidding wars. And if you are found to have engaged in a bidding war or allowed tenants to bid up, you could be in serious trouble. So these are the kind of things that you need to educate yourself about in respect of this new legislation that's coming in. So yeah, I guess we're coming to the end now. Any final words, Avaram?
Yeah, I see just, Sorel, if you can put the links to everyone, I see that the links are targeted to us and panelists, because I see questions how you can sign up. So we will have the links on the chat. Yeah, okay. So click on we'll show it last time before we wrap this webinar up. Go to your settings page. On the plans, click upgrade. Here you need to find the ad coupon link. Enter PT webinar, click apply to get the 50% off for the first year, to get great features for all sections, invest, manage, and also on the finance side, we have some benefits. Yes, so if you have more questions, you can you will see the post with this webinar recording, Vanessa, tomorrow on Property Tribes.
That's correct. Yep. It will be on the site by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Amazing. And so you can ask questions on the Property Tribes post. If you want to reach out to the team, you have the link tree now on the chat. So on the link tree, you will find all the links to schedule calls with our team. You can also use the chat box when you are working on your Landlord account, so you can reach out through that. And as Vanessa mentioned, like I think that there are many changes coming in. So we'll do our best to support you with education, also with features that will help you transition if needed. And Property Tribes will support you with great content and a place also. Vanessa, I think it's important to say that Property Tribes is a place to also share ideas, ask questions, hear other thoughts. So it's basically a forum, something that we don't see so much like in the recent I would like times, I would say, but I think that this is a great place to speak with other landlords and hear opinions and share thoughts, etc.
Well, I think it is, Avram, and I like to say you can use property tribes to make other people's hindsight your foresight. So don't make the mistakes that I did. I've shared all of my mistakes and where I went wrong, specifically to help people avoid the pitfalls. And there's thousands of other landlords on property tribes every day. I can't imagine the many decades or hundreds of thousands of years of experience that we've got. We've got landlords that are just starting out on their journey, looking at their first property. We've got landlords with 600, 700, 800 properties and everything in between. So do come and join us at Property Tribes. It is a free to use community resource. And we're partnered with LendLord for nearly 4 or 5 years now, because my husband Nick and I, when we first saw the LendLord software, we absolutely loved it, and we saw that it was just like nothing that we'd ever seen before in its innovativeness. So we've been on the LendLord journey ourselves for many years. So we're very closely partnered with LendLord, and we're both committed to landlord education and making sure that you have the most successful property portfolio that you can possibly have. So thanks, everybody, and we'll see you somewhere down the property trail.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Vanessa.